Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Ezine Williams. How are you all doing? Hope you guys are doing great. Guys, this gist is not the kind of gist I'm always excited of bringing, but I just have to say it because it's something that involves a very prominent pastor, Pastor Biodun Fatoyinbo of COZA Church. Yes. And this time around, is Timi DAKOLO'S wife, Busola, came out with a very shocking allegation that he raped her when she was approximately 18 years old. And I'm going to read, the interview. There's a video of the interview, but I can't put that here because it's not really mine. So I'm just going to, read everything she said. Busola Dakolo, of course, she was born and lived most of her life in Ilorin, and she left Ilorin for a secondary school at Suleja. Finally, she had the time to really become a Christian and all that. Apparently, it was her sisters that introduced her to a fellowship, because it was not COZA then. It was more like a non-denominational youth club that embraced all kinds of people, and all that, especially ex-cultists and sex workers that's giving their life to Christ. She reluctantly joined, her sisters, but even though she wasn't comfortable there because she was used to the conservative kind of Christian worship, after explaining herself the first time she came there, when they asked for first timers, she said that after the service, the pastor of the club, which was our dear Pastor Biodun Fatoyinbo, came looking for her after the service. By that time, he was not yet married though. He was not yet married, but he was engaged to his current wife, and like I said, it was not yet COZA. It was then called Divine Delight Club, After expressing his surprise and amazement at how she was able to speak up for herself and everything, he offered to personally rehearse with her, since she was a singer and he played the keyboard, and of course this was before all the mobile phones and internet, and Busola's sister had to take her to the pastor, who was living with his parents at that time. After all the rehearsing and everything, he gave her some gifts and cassette tapes to keep, while she was attending their club, and when she was back home from school, after that, after school, she went on to join the club fully, and the thing is, she was raised in a polygamous home, and there was really no dad present in her life, and her mom was the one taking care of everything. She went on to join the COZA choir, and after that, Pastor Fatoyinbo, according to her, took interest in her, and even started inviting himself to her home under the guise of getting to know her better. That means he used to come to her house almost every time, the first time he visited, he asked if she would join him on an errand run. Her mother, that is Busola's mother, was concerned but didn't really push. When Busola insisted that she wanted to go, they drove in his white Mercedes Benz and finally spoke for the first time. Though she was normally gathered around men, Fatoyinbo was charming, using his knowledge of her family and the assets of father to gain her trust. But before long, guys, he was visiting the house regularly, engaging her in engaging her in ways her unavoidably distant sisters weren't. On one fateful morning, and it was a Monday morning, that was when this whole nightmare started. Sorry. Fatoyinbo showed up at the house unannounced. It was a Monday morning, early enough that Busola Dakolo was still in her nightgown. Her mother had traveled with her sisters and were absent at the service the previous Sunday. He didn't say a word, forcing her onto a chair, speaking only to command her to do as he said. It took Busola a while to come to terms with what was about to happen, and it was why she didn't struggle or make fuss. he pulled out her underwear and raped her. She remembers he didn't say anything after. He just left to his car, returned with a bottle of Crest and forced her to drink it. Because I guess it was a way of what they call it, contraceptive, to prevent her from taking in, And guess what, guys? She remembers him saying, "You should be happy that a man of God did this to you." At this time, his wife has already given birth to their first child, Oluwa Shindara. Guys, this didn't even stop there. This went on to the one time when his wife actually gave birth, and the wife asked Busola to come and help her with her new baby, which she has never done before. But it was, according to Busola, this was a normal norm for the church members to come and help out in the pastor's house and all that. Feeling she had no options, she went to the pastor's house. Pastor Fatoyinbo tried to isolate her that night from his wife and their daughter, and insisted she slept in the family's guest room. She managed to thwart his plans, appealing to the pastor's wife to let her sleep in their master bedroom. "No one ignores me," he told her the next morning, smacking her butt. Guys, as I'm reading this, I'm just not okay, because the truth is, I'm a girl. I'm a young woman. I don't know, but I watched the clip, and according to what she said, in fact, I'm done reading. According to what she said, I'm just going to be summarizing. According to what she said, he insisted on dropping her off at that time, but instead of dropping her off at the junction, her junction, he detoured. He went to a very secluded place. He threatened her all through the drive and all that. He opened the car, pulled her out of the passenger seat, raped her again, and in a space of 1 week, he has raped her like twice, 3 times, first behind the car, then moving to the bonnet for easy access. At that point, she according to her, she has lost all the will to fight. Like someone that has been protecting herself for a long time, and now somebody having to take away her virginity like that. Guys, it's something else. It's on something else. In this interview she had with Y Niger, Busola, the mother of 3, came out with this shocking, very, very shocking allegations. Now a lot of people are saying now they understand, why, her husband has been speaking up against this thing. Guys, remember, this is not the first allegation made against, Pastor Fatoyinbo. This is not the first. This is not the second. You remember the case of ACCUSES, that people dragged the lady for speaking up and all that. Now we have this. I don't know what to make of this, but a lot of people have come out to say their mind on this issue. A lot of people have come out to say their mind on this issue. A lot of celebrities has come out. People like Kenneth Okoli, people like Kate Henshaw, people like Richard Dominic, people like a lot of celebrities has come out in support of her. But one person that really, really, didn't have something nice to say was the Sapphire Sense man. You all know that Sapphire Sense, he's based here in Abuja, and Sapphire Sense also, he's a COZA member, obviously, and he had very, very, very strong words, to say. And guys, you know what? I'm going to read this for you guys. I just have to read this for you guys. So this is what he had to say, yeah? He said, and I'll read. "I just watched Busola DAKOLO'S video, and I know the world gets emotional the moment a woman mentions that she was raped. But if you take a minute to think objectively, the oldest way a woman can destroy a man is to accuse him of rape. Any man is guilty of this offense in the eyes of the public until otherwise, and if she has little social status, like the wife of a struggling musician like Timi DAKOLO, it makes it look credible. Why is she doing this? Timi and his wife are a pawn in a conspiracy, and also because it will help him sell some records which he desperately needs to sell. They will also trend for a while. She has already opened Unbroken.ng, an online platform to cash in on the drama, just like Esther Walter, and then it's over. I am a proud COZA member, and Pastor Biodun Fatoyinbo is my father, and he has been a blessing to millions of people all over the world. This time there will be no silence, and since you want war, you will have it. If at Biodun Fatoyinbo has been a blessing to you, it's time to speak up. Don't keep quiet. Timi Dakolo and Busola Dakolo are not saints. She was a choir member, and Timi was a choir leader in church when she got pregnant with her first baby. Timi denied that they weren't having an affair, and then she got pregnant the second time, and that was when the church forced them to get married. This chorister was sleeping with her choir master and was a baby mama with 2 kids before they got married. These are morally bankrupt people, and all that talk in the video will not hold water on that cross-examination. Another thing that bothers me is why all the people troubling the body of Christ, like that they freeze, Timi Dakolo, Busola Dakolo, Chudi Eti, all attend a particular church. Timi and Busola have a lot of skeletons, and they both live in glass houses, and they are busy throwing stones. It's time to shatter this house of cards these people have built. It's time to deal with cyberbullying and vague social media allegations, and this couple will be the scapegoats. Wale Jana, the CEO of Safia Sense. These are the things he had to say about this issue. What do I think? I'm gonna be blunt. I'm gonna be very honest. When a woman comes out to say a lot of things like this, a married woman, not just any woman, I hear a lot of people in the comment section saying, why did it take her so long to say? Do you actually know at that age the stigma and everything that is attached to this? Guys, I'm just gonna be honest with this whole thing. I think it's time we do what is right. I think it's time. I admire her for speaking up. Let this whole thing, if it's false, let it be tried. Let it get to court. Let people speak out. At least this will help a lot of people speak out. Gone are the times where women will speak out and people will shut them up. Nobody's going to shut her up. If this is her truth, and I think the way it's going, I don't think she will come out to, start laying false accusations about a man of God. Let God be the one to judge. Let God be the one to judge. We as humans fight whatever injustice is going on among us, Do not be the one to fight for God. Let God fight for his own. I'm a Christian and I believe in the word of God. So guys, this is just me saying, what has happened. At first, I didn't want to do this video. Really, I didn't want to do this video because I got so emotional watching this clip. And if you could notice, I'm not even in my normal mood, but I just had to put this out there. So guys, that is it. This is what we woke up to this morning, but it's all good. Thank you guys for being part of my channel. Kindly click on the subscription button, kindly click on the notification bell to alert you whenever I post any new video, guys.